How many sales on average will fall through in a typical estate agency?
In terms of what's a typical fall-through rate, I think that's been skewed as well with recent events over the last 2 or 3 years. But I would say at the moment, anything from 25 to 30% wouldn't be outside of the realm of normality. But what we're finding, before you hit me with another question, is that actually, and it was a really interesting point Brian made, is that the fall-throughs we're finding are where the buyer says, actually, you know what, this is a nice house. I know I've got to make some sort of offer because there's so many people interested. So I'll put my offer in. I'll offer silly high over asking price. And then while all the paperwork's being checked and my offer's being considered, I can carry on viewing and I can just change my mind should I wish. So the idea of the reservation agreement is to completely, exactly as Brian said, the buyer was going to ask the vendor to make some commitment. So it's only fair that the traffic goes the other way as well.
Okay. So what would what's your fall through rate? And then we'll go to Chris. Then I do want to come back to Christian.
Our fall through rate for this year is 20%.
Okay. But on average, I reckon the industry is nearer 30%. So would you say that a lot of that reduction is down to reservation agreements?
Absolutely, because the way we work with Bonnie in the Go-To group, we're shifting more of our transactions to that method when the circumstances are appropriate. And as an average, as Bonnie mentioned, their fall-through rate, that's bringing ours back elderly.
Yeah, we've been in a situation where we've obviously gone to multiple best and final offers over this last year. And it's interesting, one that's come to mind recently, we had 4 offers on the table. 2 offers were ideal. One wanted to do a reservation agreement, one didn't. You can guess which one we went with. So it's an easy decision at the very outset who's actually committed to the purchase. So going back to some silly offers coming forward, you can whittle that out with, well, okay, put £600 down, show your commitment.
And you actually say when you've got multiple offers, right, there's 2 on the table, I'm not trying to squeeze an extra grand out of you. The bottom line is, are you prepared to sign one of these or not? And that's...
It's not part of the best and final offer form that goes out. So we want the best offer, chain, etc. Also, are you happy to commit into a reservation agreement, yes or no? And ultimately, if somebody's saying no and we've got somebody saying yes and they're the same sort of offer, then we know who we're advising. So that's helped tremendously.
2 brief points, just building on the point that Chris just made there. With a situation, we had a buyer offered on a property, got to the point, the offer was acceptable. We called them up, your offer's accepted, subject to you signing the reservation. Well, we don't really want to do the reservation. Well, the seller doesn't really want to sell it to you without it. And long story short, they said, well, we're not going to sign it. So, okay, well, we'll go with the other offer. They then turned around and said, that's fine, we'll stick with the property that we're buying in Canterbury. So, hold on a minute. So you're telling me that you want to pull out of a property to buy our vendor's property, demonstrate your complete lack of commitment to that property, and buy this one, but you don't want to commit to this one either, because you want to reserve the right to him to do it again and do it to our seller. So we went with another buyer. But yeah, sign for it. It was just a quick question just back to Richard. One thing that Richard said there, and he talked about his 20% fall-through rate is quite good. Well, it's a very good stat in this industry. But he said use the reservation agreements where the situations are appropriate. My question is, what situations would not be appropriate to have a reservation agreement? Why not have it on every transaction?